consciousness, what it feels like for someone to be that someone. It all comes from the biological activity of the brain. And the brain is this incredibly complex organ composed of about 88 billion neurons. Each neuron has a connection with about 10,000 other neurons.
Give me something to grasp.
See if you can make a robotic hand move by your thoughts. My main research interest is consciousness. It's the subjective experience we have of the world around us, of other people, of our own bodies. There's many different aspects that build up human consciousness. And the big challenge is to understand how and why the biological activity of the brain produces those mental states, produces conscious experience.
Hey.
Hi, Davide, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yeah. So you're Davide, yeah.
Yeah.
You know I'm a psychologist.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what you do to study, so I really have no idea. So I can imagine something like the Ghostbusters scene where you show me cards and I have to guess which one.
No, don't worry. So this is our beautiful building, you see.
It's better than mine.
Is it?
Yeah, also, yeah.
Emily, and this is my spot.
No, nice.
We work mostly on consciousness. Now, consciousness has been described as one of the most significant problems of the 21st century, on a par with the origins of the universe and the origins of life and these super big questions. It really remains a sort of mystery to figure out how the biological activity of the brain produces mental states. One of the difficulties with studying consciousness is that it is a private phenomenon. I know I'm conscious. I think you are conscious because you behave in ways that I expect to be associated with consciousness, even though I cannot really define it. But the point is, I do not have access to your own mental states, right? So we have two experiments planned, basically.
You were not gonna stick pins through my head, no?
No, but if you're willing, we're gonna put electrodes around your head.
Why not?
And see if you can make a robotic hand move by your thoughts.
So, ready?
I always thought I would have donated my brain to science.
What we're trying to do here is you're learning what thoughts to imagine so that the hand will move, what the distinction is between thinking that and thinking something else where it doesn't move, and so on and so forth. The crucial argument is that this is not built in. At some point in time during your development, your brain has to learn how to interact with your body. Agency is part of what it means to be conscious.
Each 3 seconds, you will see a red arrow pointing to the right appearing on the screen. And when you see this red arrow, you have to imagine a movement. Given that this is a right robotic hand, it's better if you imagine a movement of the right hand.
This one is intentional. This one is intentional. This one not.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I would like to spend here a week and master this thing.
It's important in this context to remember that consciousness is not one thing, right? It's different kinds of mechanisms which together characterize the adult human mind, which we know is a conscious mind. You're trying to solve this problem, like how do I design the algorithm or, you know, the loop?
It's creative, yes. Sir.
And yeah, it's really creative. But, you know, I wake up at night thinking about it, and there's almost nothing else.
You can't go to sleep if you have a bug.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So you're a nerd too.
Whenever I was 100% nerd.
I think this laboratory is doing really interesting things. I mean, it's going to very basic questions about what actually is the definition of consciousness, of self-awareness. I never knew that there was somebody tackling these questions from with a real experimental point of view. So this is far more experimental than I expected. I say, okay, these guys are psychologists, they're gonna talk all the time and that will be it. That's not the case. I mean, they have hardware, they perform measurements, they discuss data. So I think we're on the same page with Axel, I mean, really.
Just slow down. Put your hand here, below the table. Here.
So this experiment is known as the rubber hand illusion. And in the rubber hand illusion, what happens is that you progressively incorporate a foreign object, in this case this robotic hand, into your own body schema. And the way it's set up is put a fake hand, in this case a robotic hand, in front of you in a position that's compatible with your body so that it could be your real hand. And your actual hand is below the table so that you don't see your actual hand, you only see the fake hand. What we can show is that your subjective feeling that this fake hand is part of your body progressively sets in as you learn to control its movements. It's also suggestive that the brain is sort of constructing experience as it goes, as it is carried out by the robotic hand.
Delayed and...
Davide, could you at least pretend to listen to what he's saying?
That's it, right? Is it good? We're losing him, man. We're losing him.
It's not so strange any longer. Yeah, it's like the mind is for sure knowing this in some part, but also jumping the gap between the inputs and the outcome of your action.
This is all leading to human beings as becoming cyborgs, mixtures between biological stuff and machines. And from the point of view of consciousness, it's about examining whether we can induce new conscious experiences that people have not experienced before. If you're an empirically oriented scientist like I am, you want to do experiments. And so the challenge is to figure out how we can explore our mental states from a scientific perspective. If there's one worry, is that we're not making sufficiently fast progress to getting a scientific understanding of it. For a long while, consciousness was just a problem for philosophers that scientists wouldn't touch. And now that has changed. And for the past 25 years, there's been tremendous renewed interest in that problem as a scientific problem. But as it turns out, it's, you know, a lot more complicated than we thought. So people still feel that there's a key ingredient that's missing. That is what makes it so exciting to continue to work on. Of course, everybody's dream as a scientist is to make a big discovery, you know, and to truly advance the field. I don't think it's going to be me, I mean, you know, but there's something exciting about, as an individual, feeling connected to these really big issues. This is what we want to do. We want to try to solve the hardest problems. Why would we be here if not to do that?